So let's talk about the different approaches that you can take in setting up your environment. First and foremost, you've got the whole environment, meaning treating every single Jira space, issue, every Confluence space, all the data, custom field, as if it contains PHI. It's incredibly secure, has a much lower risk, but has high friction. It should enforce global session timeouts. If you have IP allow listing, strict sharing controls, it reduces the legal risk of an accidental data leak, but it forces non-clinical teams to work under like a heavy compliance friction. So there's a pro for it, but then the con is teams that are not dealing with PHI data are now going to be restricted and enforced as if they did. This is best doing a whole environment approach, best for organizations where I'd say about 80% or more of the daily work involves patient data. Then you have the blended environment. The blended environment approach, this is where your expertise or the expertise of somebody else is very, very important. The blended environment is where you have a single Jira instance or a single Confluence instance, or both, where only specific projects, say patient support portal, handle PHI, while others, like maybe the internal IT help desk or software bug tracking, operate normally. Atlassian allows you to tag specific apps and spaces that contain PHI so that they are treated in accordance with HIPAA regulations, but it's up to you to meticulously restrict and have airtight permission schemes, integration approvals. You have to disable certain native AI tools, Rovo, from being able to parse that tagged PHI data. You need to rely heavily on data loss prevention protocols to make sure PHI does not bleed from a tagged product to an unsecure, like basically the tool that has the space that has the PHI data to a space that's not running. So we need to make sure there's no crossover in that. So that's the blended environment. High risk, lower friction. And then there's multiple environments. This is where you have your whole environment. PHI work sits in a completely separate instance, and that is treated as a whole environment approach. The rest sit on a non-HIPAA compliant instance. If you're on enterprise, you can easily implement this without any additional overhead. However, if you're on standard or premium, this does lead into the potential for duplicate or higher licensing costs because maybe an individual works in both instances, so you have to pay a license fee for both instances. Duplicate licensing for third-party apps if they're approved to be in both. Things of that sort, so it will come with a higher bill. Those are your options. One has low risk, high friction, high risk, low friction, and then a higher bill. After implementing Jira for over 200 companies, we've seen the same failure story over and over. The Jira adoption started out small and then grew into a free-for-all mangled web of customizations that just didn't scale. If that's you, that's exactly what we help you fix. If you want help implementing or fixing Jira in a way that will grow with you no matter your success, hit the first link in the description below.